Hey, what's up, guys? It's me. Oh, hold on. All right. Yes, I am that guy that walks around with one of these Bluetooths in my ear all day long because I'm either on the phone, usually with an attorney, or talking to a fulfillment center, or talking to another attorney, or maybe another attorney. So that's been the majority of my days recently. I know it sounds pretty boring, but actually it's just because there's a lot of exciting stuff going on. And we just got word that the TLC show was aired again tonight. So for those of you who are just tuning in, I really hope you enjoyed it, and welcome to the fam. I'm here pretty much every day, or at least I try to be. Definitely put in yet another long day today. Been shooting all day, but we got a ton of stuff done. Man, I started off the day though with I actually had a cavity, and so I had to go to the dentist office. And by the way, Dr. B at studiobsmiles.com. Dr. B, you are the best. He's been my boy for 6 years, and he's also the doctor that did David's grill. He stepped up years ago when David was going through his transformation. He said, "Man, I want to give him a whole new grill." So, man, Dr. B, he's put in about $40,000 worth of work for David. I mean, just all new, brand new veneers, and so he's been our boy for a long time, and he definitely took good care of me today. But it was funny. I told him I had to be on camera at 9, so I was sitting in his dentist chair by about like 7:30 this morning, and so he numbs me up, and of course I couldn't feel anything from ear to ear, just so completely numb all the way through here. Does this whole thing, fills a cavity, and then they've got this new injection actually that they re-inject right back in, and it's supposed to take the numbness out so that you can talk again. But we had to actually put all the filming on hold. We had to push it back an hour because my jaw was so swollen out, and I couldn't feel my tongue or my lips, and so I was drooling all over myself. So we got a late start on the day, but we just finally wrapped things up. Gosh, it's been about a 9-hour day, so it's just as far as shooting goes. So I'm sorry to the crew for the delay, but thanks for your patience while I got sensation back in here. But anyway, yeah. So it's been just a really cool day, kind of a crazy day, and the emails are blowing up now that now the TLC aired the show again. So I hope you guys enjoyed. But hey, without further ado, let's get to what we get to on here, and let's answer some questions. And another really good question came in from a woman frustrated because she's wondering why men lose weight so much faster than women. And this is such a common frustration among so many women out there. And of course, I've heard this one for years, for literally probably about 14 or 15 years. This has been a frustration of clients of mine, and it is very true. But the real question is why. So let's go ahead and dive into that just a little bit. Now, when it comes to losing fat loss, that's really, I'm guessing that's what your goal is. It can be definitely very frustrating, especially for couples who go through it together. You always find that your spouse, your boyfriend, whatever, man, he drops like a rock, and you guys are doing the same thing, and he starts losing weight. Then you bump up your intensity a little bit more. Maybe you diet a little bit harder, and he's still dropping like a rock. But you've just kind of found yourself in this little plateau, or just maybe losing a pound or two a week, and he's dropping 4 and 5. Well, I mean, unfortunately, it's the laws of physiology here is that males typically have more muscle on their body, and the more muscle we have, actually, it'll account for a higher metabolic rate. Because keep in mind, muscle is the most active living tissue on the body. So it is actually a very, what we call a high maintenance tissue. It actually requires a lot of nutrients just to maintain every pound of muscle that we have on our body. Males obviously have a lot more muscle tissue on their body, so it requires a lot more calories. And if you don't give them those calories, well, their body's going to actually, it's still going to try to burn a lot, so they're going to have that higher metabolic rate, and they're going to lose fat a little bit faster. So That's unfortunately that's just the way it is. And of course, males, why do they have more muscle? Because we produce more testosterone, and testosterone is what we call a hormone of accommodation. So it's a hormone that accommodates muscle mass and muscle growth. So the more testosterone we have, obviously, what's called protein synthesis, it stimulates protein synthesis, so we can actually develop a lot more muscle. And a kind of a funky example of what happens with women. Women have naturally they'll produce so much testosterone. Actually, in their ovaries, women do produce testosterone, not as much as males do in their testes. But if you look at some female bodybuilders that actually will inject testosterone, what we call exogenously, especially a lot of these female bodybuilders, you see them on stage, and their body really thinks it's more male than female, and they can accommodate a lot more muscle tissue. So. And you can also see how lean they can get as well. So I mean it's an extreme example, but it's tried and true, and unfortunately that's just the way it is. So I'm sorry to the women out there. I mean, thank God you are women, and for what it's worth. But yeah, and ultimately in the long run, your fat loss is always going to happen a little bit slower than a male's fat loss, simply because we're talking about basic muscle mass, and the amount of muscle you have it counts for a higher metabolic rate. Now there is a light at the end of the tunnel here. Keep in mind now, although males will tend to lose, they're going to tend to lose fat a little bit faster than women. Women, you can actually increase your own natural testosterone production. Now, don't freak out. You're not going to turn into a bodybuilder. You can actually increase your own natural testosterone production simply through the intensity of the exercise that you do. So when we actually go through and we perform different movements of different muscle intensities for certain durations of time, we elicit this incredible hormonal release from our body, and we can release testosterone and growth factors, and we can stimulate a greater release in growth hormone, and all these incredible hormones that are going to boost protein synthesis, help your body build a little bit of muscle. So keep in mind, manipulation just through simple nutrition and exercise, it can still work absolute wonders. Now, don't try to compete with your male counterparts simply because they just produce more testosterone. And so there's not a lot we can do about that. So we just we play the cards that we've been dealt, and we make the best of it. So can you still lose fat at an incredible rate? Absolutely. Keep in mind, it's really all about structuring a wonderful lifestyle around that's allows you the psychological and emotional needs that you have. And then, of course, it's about creating this wonderful structure that's going to help you live a happier, healthier life. So there are incredible solutions out there. Unfortunately, we do have to deal with losing fat slower than the male counterparts, but that's just the way it is. So thank God for the physiology that you do have, and appreciate and enjoy the body that you've got, and especially the fact that we still can manipulate it however you want. So I hope that answered some questions in the most basic sense of how and why women lose fat a little bit slower than males. Now, I didn't even get into the estrogen aspect of the whole equation, but that's going to be a blog unto itself, because when we start talking hormones, really cool, fun, exciting stuff, but we can start to lose you. So I need a whole blog just to talk about the basic hormones of the body and what they do. Anyway, guys, go have a wonderful Thursday. This is actually late Wednesday night right now, but hope you all enjoyed the show. Have a wonderful Thursday, and I'll see you guys Friday. Bye.